The footage you're about to watch has been recorded over several weeks as I worked on rearranging my office space. Some of the work still needs to be done because I'm still waiting on packages, and some of it frankly was just too much for this one video. So I will leave you with past me to tell you more about it. Kia ora, I'm Erin J. Doyle. Welcome to my channel and my extremely poorly lit rat hole. This will come important later. At the moment it's just going to be a dark background and me like glowing like a Christmas tree because I'm that white. Like, who needs lights when you buy luminaires? The point is, the rat hole in which I live is very dark. Every light is currently on, like all the lights, and it's still this dark. And the problem I am having, I've realised, is I spend the vast majority of the time at which I'm home and not asleep at my computer, which is in the darkest corner of the room. Because this is a loft space, the built-in desk being beneath the loft means that it really doesn't get any of the light from the window in the loft space. So the loft window, the light comes down over here, and there's a window over here, and then way over here where there are no lights at all is my desk, where I am all the time. So I want to do something about that. I also want to make my bookshelves lighter, better organised. I want to fill them with some fake greenery, because obviously real greenery couldn't possibly survive in such dark building. That wasn't a sentence. Real greenery couldn't possibly survive in such a dark space. So I need to do some fake greenery and fairy lights and stuff just to kind of make it feel more alive, and I'm hoping that this will kind of make me feel more alive and positive when I'm in the space, because at the moment I feel the fact that I live in a rat hole, and I don't think I want to feel it, even if I have to be consciously aware of it. So the plan is, currently I have two bookcases out of frame on that side of the room, along with a vast amount of junk, hence why you're not getting to see it. Those two bookcases are up against a wall, beneath the light, and right by the biggest window in the room. So what I'm thinking I want to do is move those two bookcases and put a standing desk there. So I'll have a standing desk, which can only be a good thing. I mean, I hear good things. But it will also mean that my desk is right next to the window. I will have fresh air and I will have natural light, at least for parts of the day. This seems like a good thing. My existing desk is built in, so I can't move it. My current plan is to take the two bookcases that are against this wall and put them up against the desk. Now this will mean that I lose the space that the desk is, because the desk will be like bookcased off. But it's so dark there and I don't want to use the space, and the desk is rickety, like it's starting to kind of do this a bit. I actually don't think I'm going to lose much for doing that. I may regret it, but I think in my head it sounds like a good plan. Step the first is going to be to clear off all the junk which accumulates on their shelves because they take up so much of my space and because I have no storage in this room. So it does kind of become books and then random crap. So I'm going to clear off the random crap, do something about the balance of the black to white ordering, but that means I also have to rearrange the books entirely because the black ones do not have the same genre as the white ones. So I'm going to do that. So here is the bookshelves that we're dealing with today anyway. So we've got the 5 white ones and then the problematic plug in the middle of the wall, and then we've got 3 black ones. Obviously one is significantly bigger than the other. This is today's challenge. This is my new bookcase situation. It's going to need some further work, but that's the gist of it. This video was going to include the whole shebang with that. but I think I'm just going to make an entire separate video with the rearranging of the books, because whilst I've done all of this, I'm not actually super happy with the arrangement of the books themselves, and there's more to it, but that'll be another video. So we're going to move on to the desk. My camera ran out of batteries, so I just assembled the desk while I was waiting because it was taking up too much room. It was super easy to do. Everything in the box was really clearly labelled. No tools needed, so you've got all these holes down the side and you just slot each piece in. So this piece slots through this hole, and then you've got this key piece, so it slots in, you've got a hole there and you just push it in to lock it in place, and it's reasonably sturdy. I don't think anything's going to move. The top feels so nice and smooth, like it's almost like buttery smooth, so it's really nice. So yeah, that's the basic desk. Because this is plywood, I didn't want it right up against the radiator, because plywood, obviously it's multiple layers of wood all glued together, and if you've got heating and cooling going on, you're going to get expansion, and the wood will eventually become delaminated. So I had to have a gap, so one of the bookcases went back in there. It's just piled up with random books at the moment. So I've kind of tested it over a day, and even with the heater going at sort of highest temperature, the wood on this leg doesn't feel particularly warm, so that's great. This leaves me with this random bookcase. This bookcase is going to have to move once the new pieces arrive, because I'm going to have a bookcase that will go here attached to the desk, and then there's also going to be a shelf that will go across here, and that will put my monitors at the right height for me, I think. My desk is fully assembled, so now it's time to decorate it. I have bought some stuff which is purely decorative, as well as some stuff that's quite functional. The things which are purely decorative are tricky, and I do expect delays with delivery because my city is still at level 4 of lockdown. So for those who are not in New Zealand, level 4 is New Zealand's most sort of stringent and shut-downiest of the COVID shutdown levels. It means that the only businesses which are open are basically chemist, doctor, grocery store, and that's literally it. You are able to buy things online, but even then they have to be things which are considered essential items, so office supplies, school supplies, clothing, that kind of thing, obviously groceries and medicine as well. If you order anything online that's not considered an essential item, it won't be delivered under level 4. Your order will just be held until level 3. So some of the stuff I've ordered couldn't be delivered under level 4. My city is still under level 4, but other regions are now at level, I think actually just turned on to level 2, which means that companies which are national, if they have a depot or whatever in a level 2 region, they can ship it from a level 2 region into a level 4 region, but it can't be shipped from anywhere within the level 4 area. So some of my things I'm still waiting on. I expect them tomorrow. The essential items which will have been couriered from somewhere within the level 4 region are here, but the purely decorative stuff still waiting on. I'm a little bit sad because there's chocolate in that box as well that I'm still waiting on, but most, and more importantly the important stuff, that has all arrived, so I'm going to decorate. First two things I got, very practical and boring, an extension cord and a surge protector multi-board thingy, because there is no power point on this side of my room. So, well, actually there is, but it's on the opposite side of these stairs. So my plan is, instead of having the electric stuff running across the room, being a tripping hazard, I'm actually going to plug this in on the other side of the stairs and then thread it through the stairs, and then have this down here so I can plug in my laptop and rah-de-rah. So it's going to require climbing over shit. I also picked up a wrist rest for my keyboard, so I got a mouse one as well as a keyboard one. I got this from a clothing website that randomly also does sort of pretty electronics. So I was a little bit dubious of the quality, but it's arrived and we can check. Okay, I believe I'm not allergic to it, so excellent. Plastic wrapped inside a plastic. These two items were together, like you couldn't buy them separately. There's no reason for this to be individually packaged. The material it's made out of isn't sticky, so it's not like the two would have affected each other if they were in one bag together. Unacceptable. Next, I picked up from the same company a large desk protector. The company that sells this desk does do custom shaped ones which actually fit the desk perfectly, but those have a natural rubber, no slippy grip thing on them, which of course I'm allergic to. So I had to actually downgrade on the perceived quality front in order to get one that wouldn't give me a rash. So that's why we got this one. It also means that it won't be like perfect fit for my desk, but you know, perfect fit or random rash. To me it doesn't really seem like much of a question. Okay, again we have to do the quick. Okay, I don't believe that contains anything that's going to hurt me. So here we go. From being wrapped up in the package, it has, I don't know if you can really pick it up, but it's got like a bit of a wobble to it. So what I'm probably going to do is lay some books down over it overnight and hope it kind of flattens out, but that's fine. And lastly, this one I am childishly excited about. I got a pretty keyboard. So I just evil bubble wrap, but not unexpected. Look at it. You could get ones of these which stopped here and didn't have these like more calculator type buttons. To be honest, those were cuter and they didn't have this random void, so it looked like kind of compact. That's what I want. They looked just generally more compact. Not really surprising when you are significantly smaller because all that's gone. And then, if you wanted, you could buy a separate device with just this bit. And I was like, I can see if you were doing only like Word documenty stuff, then maybe that would be fine. But I intend to also use this for sciencey things. I need this layout for my numbers. Using the numbers across here for data entry is a screaming nightmare. Not even gonna try. So I paid extra, and like, I think it was like $20 or $30 extra to get the bigger version with this bit. Alright, there should be a mouse in here. Yep. Also in plastic. Oh, double plastic. It is now time to commit to moving computers from old desk to new desk, which is of course going to require I don't know, effort. So these guys were previously on my bookcase, but I've rearranged my bookcase and I just don't have a this is the right place for them feel. And also these guys just make me really happy, and I thought, well, then I should have them at my workstation instead of behind me where my bookcases are. So the question is, where am I going to put them? I feel like I can't put a villain next to All Might. Even though I love her, I think she's so cute. She is nonetheless a murderer, and I can't have her next to the symbol of peace and justice. That would be weird. Unless she has some kind of redemption arc later on, but I'd actually be kind of disappointed with that. Oh, would I? Oh, I've got to think about that. So before I had them in really different places, and now I don't know where to put them. She's quite little. I could potentially actually have her up here. And she's like just in the way. Like only just. That might, I suspect that her being there is going to piss me off sooner rather than later. But anyway, she can be there, and then maybe he can just be here. I think I'm pleased. I have to figure out what I'm going to do with... I have 2 pencil holders. Obviously the wooden one, made by my father, by the by. He's a cabinet maker by trade, and then in retirement he has really gotten into wood turning. And yeah, I have many wooden containers now. I feel like this really needs to live on the wooden desk. I could actually have it here. This was one thought, like, because I mean it's not like this part of the desk is super pretty. So I could have it just here and that would be very grabbable. But I don't know about that. Like, I feel like pulling stuff out of it is going to be annoying. Like, I'm going to have the pens facing out at this angle. Might be okay. We might leave it there and see how we feel. Adding my various, like, fairy princess skin medicines. Like, it's so bad. My skin is so delicate. I have 2 different, one very weak, one very powerful steroid creams that I'm using, I mean not every day, but often enough that I just keep them by my writing desk, and then are currently being kept upside down because it's running low moisturiser-y thing, because my skin gets really dry and really rashy. That was information to share with the internet, wasn't it? No regrets about that. So there's my just work there. Oh, I don't know. Am I done? Am I done? Oh, I have candy. Oh, one of the other things that's exciting about this change around is that this laptop, in its older age, is getting really fucking hot. I mean, to be fair, it was actually always a very hot machine, and it's designed so that it's cooled here, so you don't notice, and then you put your hand down here, and this area is like on fire. I have put things like, at one point I had, I think it was fish oil tablets next to my laptop, and they actually got destroyed. Like, you open the container and it just smelled of, not quite rancid, but like it reeked. And I kind of looked at them and they were quite obviously a different colour than they had been a few hours before, and so those went into the bin. But yes, I like the idea of having this elevated and away from other things like bits of paper or whatever, but most importantly, it means I can put candy on my desk without it getting melted. So, I mean, we had to get move-in candy, right? I've now had my desk fully assembled, all of the components there except for the couple of decorative items I'm still waiting for, and I've used it for a couple of days and it's great. I'm not getting the back pain that I usually get whilst using my seated desk, and I think it's because whilst I do have a gaming chair which should support you and encourage good posture and things, it really only does that if you actually sit up straight. You're perfectly capable of slouching in this chair, and because my desk was too low, I was not only slouching, I was sitting forward and kind of rolling my shoulders to bring my head down close to the height of my monitors. So even though I haven't made any efforts to like stand up straight or anything, having the standing desk with my monitors elevated, I think has made a immediate and noticeable improvement to my posture and I'm not getting that back pain. So that's my new desk setup and some of my new bookcase situation. Like I said, I will do a later video rearranging the books themselves just because I put them on and yes they all fit and it's fine, but the organisation isn't quite where I'd like it to be, so I'll make another video looking at that at some point, or you can have a closer look. If you enjoyed this video, do remember to give it a like, and if you're new around here, maybe consider hitting subscribe and ringing that bell so you can stay up to date, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Oh no! No! My chips! It wasn't empty! There are chips all over the floor. Take! This is really tiring.